The Prime Minister Mark Carney's visit to China, the first by a Canadian leader in 8 years, signals a potential shift in the often turbulent relationship between Canada and China. This moment necessitates a comprehensive analysis, examining the historical context, current geopolitical realities, and potential future trajectories of this crucial bilateral relationship. The core of this new era, as framed by Prime Minister Carney, revolves around repairing ties that have been strained for years. These strains stem from a confluence of factors. The arrest of Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou in Vancouver in 2018 at the request of the United States initiated a period of significant diplomatic and economic fallout. China, in response, detained Canadian citizens Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor, actions widely perceived as retaliatory and often referred to as hostage diplomacy. This incident severely damaged trust between the two nations. Beyond the Meng Wanzhou affair, broader concerns over human rights in China, particularly the treatment of Uyghurs in Xinjiang, and China's assertive foreign policy in the South China Sea and towards Taiwan, have added further tension. Economic disputes, including trade barriers and concerns over intellectual property theft, have also contributed to the deterioration of relations. To understand the current context, a brief historical overview is essential. Canada was one of the first Western nations to recognize the People's Republic of China in 1970, and for many years, the relationship focused primarily on trade and economic cooperation. Canada benefited from China's rapid economic growth, exporting natural resources and attracting Chinese investment. However, differing political systems and values always presented a potential point of friction. The Tiananmen Square crackdown in 1989, for example, led to a period of strain. Despite these challenges, economic engagement generally took precedence until the events of 2018. The broader geopolitical context further complicates the Canada-China relationship. The United States plays a pivotal role, given its close alliance with Canada and its strategic rivalry with China. Canada is often caught between the competing interests of its closest ally and its major trading partner. The Indo-Pacific strategy adopted by Canada reflects a cautious approach, aiming to diversify trade relationships within the region and reduce dependence on China. It also acknowledges the security challenges posed by China's growing influence. The success of Prime Minister Carney's visit will depend on several factors. First, demonstrating a commitment to dialogue and mutual respect is crucial. Both nations must be willing to address difficult issues openly and constructively. Second, concrete actions to rebuild trust are necessary. This could involve increased people-to-people exchanges, cultural programs, and collaborative research projects. Third, finding common ground on issues of mutual interest, such as climate change, global health, and trade diversification, can create a foundation for a more stable relationship. Fourth, carefully managing economic relations by exploring new export opportunities and investment avenues that align with Canada's values and strategic interests should be conducted carefully. However, significant challenges remain. Public opinion in Canada towards China has become increasingly negative, influenced by human rights concerns and perceptions of Chinese interference in domestic affairs. Balancing economic opportunities with ethical considerations will be a delicate act. The shadow of past disputes, particularly the Meng Wanzhou affair and the detention of the two Michaels, continues to loom large. China's own domestic political priorities and foreign policy ambitions will also shape the future of the relationship. In conclusion, Prime Minister Carney's visit represents an opportunity to reset Canada-China relations. While significant hurdles remain, a pragmatic approach focused on dialogue, mutual respect, and shared interests could pave the way for a more stable and productive relationship. However, it is essential to approach this new era with realism, recognizing the complexities and potential pitfalls that lie ahead. Success will require careful diplomacy, strategic thinking, and a clear understanding of Canada's own values and interests in a rapidly changing world. The road to normalized relations will be complex and potentially long, but this initial step is vital.